Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I'm back with another story time. Yes, I'm working on a hairpiece. Um, yeah, I'm trying to get this thing finished. So I want to tell y'all this story about how I started this hair journey. Okay, when I was younger, we when I was younger, we didn't get all those nice hairdos and stuff like most of the girls did in school. And I used to love to see everybody with their, little hairdos. Our mom, she loved them little ugly pigtails that be about that small. She loved them little pigtails. She'll put them all over me and my sister, them head. And that's how we used to go to school. So with that being said, we never actually got a chance to wear the braids like the little young girls used to wear and stuff. And at that time, I was in middle school. I was going to Carver in Orlando. So we was like entirely different from the other kids with the hairdo and stuff. But I used to love to see other girls wear the little pretty hairdos and stuff. And I one day I did get bold and asked Mama for a hairdo. I wanted some braids. Mama said no. She decided she wanted to put a Jerry curl on my head. So, child, I sat there through that whole little process. She put a whole Jerry curl on my head and stuff. It was cute. I ain't gonna lie, it was cute. And then she taught me and my sister how to, take care of little Jerry curl. And one thing I can say, that Jerry curl grew my hair. It did that. So we did, like, she said do. My mom was like, y'all make sure y'all put y'all little curl caps on and keep your hair moisturized and grease your scalp and brush your hair every night. So, that's what we did. And, our hair grew pretty decent, doing what she said. So, we went through the Jerry curl phase. That curl weighting up everything, messing up your collar, your shirt when you go to sweating and stuff. See, because at Carver, they had this thing where doing PE, they're going to make you run around the whole school. You literally running around the school and stuff like that. So, I'm already like at a buck 05 at the time because I was so small. I was real skinny, real teeny weeny when I was in school. So, that's what we did. So, sweating that Jerry curl juice everywhere and stuff and all of that crap. But anyway, that's as far as I got with, a decent hairdo when I was in school. So as I got older, I really wanted one of them hairdos and didn't get it. So what happened was, when I got old enough that I could, do my own thing, I started, trying to figure out how to get my hair done because I didn't have a lot of money back then. I really didn't. But, we was trying to make things work. So we didn't have no lot of money and stuff. So I was like, okay, they had YouTube. So I did a lot of YouTubing. So I sat there and I watched them do braids. And that's how I learned how to do braids. So I went and I got some hair. And I started, trying to braid my own hair. So it came out all right. I mean, the braid went all the way to the root, to the scalp like it was supposed to. But it still looked decent. But I had a lot of hair sticking out the plait. So let me tell you what I did. So I goes and I go buy me some tape. So I took the Scotch tape and wrapped it around each plait that the hair was like sticking up out of. I think it's like split ends that'll stick up out the plait off the side and stuff. So that's what I taped up. I taped up the split ends and I kept them moving. So when people saw it, they thought that my hair was cute. I guess they thought I was wearing a fad or something. But they didn't know the reason why I was wearing that tape because my hair wasn't sitting right. But anyway, people started asking me, oh, you'll do my hair, Devansky, you'll do my hair, stuff like that. So I was like, I don't really know how to do hair, this the first time I did it on my own head, stuff like that. And they said, okay, but I like your hair, practice on me. And they went and bought tape and stuff thinking that was the hairdo. So, I started learning how to do braids and stuff by working on other people's hair. So I was like, okay, the more I did it, the better I got at it. So I was like, okay, cool. So I did that. I did that for a while. I did braids on other people's hair. As I got better, you know, it's like I would have somebody here to do every day. Every day I was doing the hairdo. And so I did a lot of that, and then I graduated to, you know, I started seeing everybody with these sew-ins and stuff. So I was like, okay, I want to learn how to do these sew-ins. Everybody wearing sew-ins and stuff like that. So, you know, I finally went and got some, you know, hair, some sew-in hair, and I tried it on my own head. Bruh, when I tell you that was the first F up I did, if you're not careful and you talking about a sew-in, if you sew that hair in too tight, it's gonna cut your hair off. Totally cut it off. So that's what I did. I cut that sucker off. So, so, you know, after I lost that piece of hair, I had to say, okay, I might need to, you know, sew a little bit lighter. So that's what I started doing. I started sewing a little bit lighter. And I started coming out with these different hairdos. I mean, I didn't know how to close them up, so they looked kind of crazy. But people still liked it. I don't know. I don't understand it, but them hairdos were ratchet. So anyway, I learned how to do sew-ins, and I started doing them on other people's hair, stuff like that. So I did those and braids for a couple of years, and then, you know, I started seeing where they was, you know, gluing the hair in and stuff like that. So I started doing that with YouTube. I sat there and taught myself how to do all of that. So most of my hair doing, I taught myself. And so with this I learned from a lady named Marquetta Breslin. This is what you call like hair ventilating, crocheting like stuff. But before I got to that part, I was doing like how you would braid your hair down, and then you would take the braiding hair and you would crochet it in between your braids, and you could either make it long, short, or whatever you want to do. I was doing those. So what I did, I tried the first one on my head. I braided my hair back, and then I took the hair weave and I crocheted it in my braids and stuff. And when I did that, I had just left it loose. But then, you know, I was like, okay, I need to do something with this hair. So I took it and I put it on some rods, and I put it in the hot water and stuff, and gave it like a little curl pattern. Everybody thought it was just so cute. And I was like, okay, I can swing with this. So I started doing those on people's hair. So now you got crochets, you know, crochet in the head. And then now you got the braids, the sewing, and the bond ends. So I was doing all of that. And I was, you know, making a little money from it. You know, trying to make a little few dollars. And I did that. So when I'm talking about this right here, because I already knew how to crochet the hair in, because, you know, they had them little curly plait things that they used to crochet in their head and stuff after you break the hair down. This came easy to me because I was already doing it. I was already doing it on people's head. You know, it's the same thing basically. So when it talk about ventilation, you know, I was sitting there one day and I was just looking through YouTube, and I was like, I want to start my own business, but what could I do? What could I do? And then I seen Marquetta and some more people on YouTube doing hair ventilation and stuff, and I was like, okay. So it was like, I need to learn how to do this thing. So I was watching Wig Master. He taught a lot about this stuff. I mean, the Wig Master, he showed you how to make the cap for the head, and how to distinguish between the hair, and how to do the hair, and all this different stuff. So I learned a lot from watching him. That was before Marquetta. So when I went on there one day, that's how I popped into Marquetta's little video. And I was like, oh, she really getting down into it. So I was like, okay, I'm finna learn this thing. So Marquetta got a little college-like thing that she does with people that want to learn hair ventilation and stuff. And she teach you how to ventilate the lace, like to make your own closures in your frontals, right? So I took that whole course. I learned how to do that stuff in no time. It was quick. I'm the type of person, if I can see you do something and then I got the stuff and I could practice doing it, I got you. So that's what I did. And so with that being said, I made a few wigs, and I made them just how you see me make this one. And people, they liked it. I mean, I sold them real quick. They didn't last long. So I sold them kind of quick. And so I decided to, start me a Etsy shop doing, this. See, with Etsy like you do things like handmade stuff like that. And if you do, buy stuff from like factory made or already made stuff, they just want to know where you got it from and all this stuff. So they want to make sure the people be safe. So I was like, okay. And I seen on there, I said, well, they making a whole lot of synthetic wigs and stuff, because nowadays a lot of people say that the wigs are too expensive, but they buying those synthetic wigs like it ain't nothing. I said, okay. And then I seen this other lady named Miss Barbara on YouTube. Barbara was making these same wigs that I'm making right now, and that's what she do. She don't make any human hair wigs or any of that. All of them is synthetic wigs that's made with braiding hair. So I was like, okay, so cool. So that's how I started making the synthetic wigs with the braiding hair, and they come out nice. People like them, they buy them, and they just enjoy them. I don't have nobody complaining, because if you actually look at it, human hair, just like synthetic hair, all hair is eventually gonna tangle. You have to brush it out. You got to take care of it. So it doesn't matter if it's human hair or synthetic hair or whatever. Whatever you got to take care of it. So pretty much to say. So anyway, I learned all the different things I need to do, through Marquetta. I learned how to fix wigs, like when y'all be scratching the front of y'all closures and frontals. Y'all be scratching and y'all make it bald head. It be bald head in the front. I mean, the hair be gone. I know how to fix all of that. You rip your lace, I fix all of that. I do all of that stuff. But with me, when you talking about replacing the closures in the frontal, if you want it replaced, as long as you got the frontal or the closure piece, I'll replace it for you. No problem. A little bit of nothing. As long as I don't have a whole lot going on. I know how to restore the wig, everything for you. So anyway, yeah, I got into this, following Miss Marquetta them, and ever since then I've been doing them. And I repair a wig here and there that somebody might have that they say, oh, I paid $600-700 for this wig. I'm not gonna throw this wig away. Take it, you fix my wig for me. Okay, I do that. See, when I fix them, the price start off at $75, and it depends on how bad the wig is. It might go up a little bit more, but I don't charge over $150. Now, if it's really, really damaged, it's gonna be $150. But anyway, yeah. So that's what started my hair journey, and that's what started me doing all of this. And I was trying to find something that I could start my own business with, and lo and behold, thank you, Miss Marquetta Presley, that's how I started doing this. So I know how to make my own closures. I know how to make my own frontals. And I take the hair and I put the hair in the closure in the frontal with this needle. This needle right here. I'm trying to get it where you can see it. This is for the cap. I have a different needle for the lace, so the lace won't get ripped and tore all up. So that's how I made this 5x5 closure for this wig. So yeah, that's how I started my hair journey. And sometimes, I mean, I got a few videos that people don't watch me make a closure here and there or whatever. So that's what I be doing. I be making my wigs, and when I'm done, if somebody don't beat me to it, I put it on Etsy and I'll sell it. And, you know, people like them. You're not paying $500 and $600 for, you know, a wig, you know. And then on top of that, they don't have tracks. So you could basically take this wig and you can just like, you could party, you could pull it up in a ponytail or whatever you want to do. You know, it's gonna look like it's giving, you know, that it's growing out of the cap. So it's basically a full lace cap. So yeah, so this is how I started my hair journey. And, you know, I'm just trying to get where, you know, I could do this and, you know, do this and make it where, you know, I can sell them and, you know, people be happy with their hairdo, and, you know, I can make pretty good off it, and I be happy with what come out of it. I make little girl ponytails and all that stuff. The little ponytails for the little girls with the beads and stuff like that. Yeah, I do those too. So, yes, that's how I started this hair journey. And I'm working on this wig now, and I'm trying to finish it. So, yeah, I'll be back and forth between my YouTube, my Facebook, and this. Yeah. So, this is how I started my hair journey. I hope y'all liked the story. So, please hit that like button and that subscribe button, and it will help me out a whole lot. Thank you, and y'all have a blessed evening.